Okay. Sorry, my cat's bugging me. I was hoping to um I was hoping to do this someplace with a little better light than my office slash room here, but it is getting flipping cold outside. um, so unfortunately that didn't work out. Um, so just a really quick update here with my EV project or electric vehicle project. I spent the last few days trying to figure out different things, like kind of making a list of the different systems within a car, and what I'm going to need to focus on in the different areas. Um, and so I think I've got a pretty good list. One of the things, I forgot the name of the person. I could probably look it up here real quick, um, or not. Well, it's not. There we go. Yeah, that's. I'll see if I can put a link together. Um, there's a gentleman that's doing he calls it the Electric Samba Project. And he put together a battery pack using um, the 18650 cells, lithium ion cells, and he's recycling them from old uh, laptop batteries and other sources. And I really like that idea because I'm big on recycling and stuff like that. So I think that's how I'm going to do my batteries. I ordered four laptop batteries just to kind of they're salvage batteries, but I'm just going to break them open and um, see, try to figure out some of the stuff that he was talking about. Um, and he puts together a really good pack. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of add to that idea, and I've come up with a circuit for my battery management. Just because with recycled batteries, some of them are going to charge at different rates, some of them are going to discharge at different rates. So I'm working on developing a battery balancing and charging circuit. Um, some of the other areas, I've figured out how to do the carbon fiber for the parts on the vehicle, body parts and frame or the chassis, and then the exterior body panels. I've also come across different things on how to do. I figured out the suspension. There's a company that makes custom suspensions that I'm really thinking I'm going to use. I'm going to get a hold of them. It's called Ride Tech. So I was looking through some of their suspensions, and I really like their design and their ability to be customized. Excuse me. Their ability to be customized. I also looked into steering, the rack and pinion steering, and I think I found a company. I'm not 100% sure on that yet, but they do custom rack and pinion steering, and they've also got um, electric steering control, so that I can add a motor to the steering column to make it so that um, instead of a hydraulic steering, it's electric power assist. It would also help with some other things that I have planned for it. What else have I discovered? I found a company that does circuits or ICs, um, integrated circuits, uh, chips, for those that aren't into electrical engineering. Um, that they do different types of chips and processors and stuff like that for the internal systems of a computer for the cars. Um, and so I found some really cool stuff with them. Um, and so I'm going to look into more detail with that. It's called Freescale. And I'll try to, I might not at the very beginning, but I'll make sure to put some links in this description so you guys can find all this stuff. But some of it's going to be a little bit difficult to figure out because they don't offer, how do I want to put it? Oh, I can't think of the word, but you're going to have to pretty much start from scratch. I mean, they give you a good idea of what parts you'll need, but you've got to do the programming and stuff like that. And then other things, like surprisingly enough, window control. They have a board that you can use for window control that actually has like an anti-pinch feature. So if your hand gets in the way or something gets in the way of the window, it'll actually stop and reverse the window. And so that's going to be really nice. Kind of a, one of those smaller things that you really don't think about when you're building the car, I guess. So it'll actually be able to control the electric windows. What are some of the other things that I got a whole list. Like I said, I've got some batteries coming in. I've got the battery holders coming in. I've started to figure out the battery management or the balancing circuit. I've got, like I said, the suspension, braking system. I'm looking into ABS. You really can't do ABS with, you'd have to have almost a donor car. I'm wanting to really try to use that Freescale because they've got some resources for that. I've just got to figure it out. And there's just a lot of other little things. I've got a pretty good list going, and I think I'm figuring it out. The suspension, the steering, some of the electronic controls. I've got the batteries starting to figure out. There's some other things that I want to throw in there that I'm starting to work on. I watched a video series from Greg's Garage. I'll try to again add that link about aerodynamics. And so I'm going to look into some cars, and he uses models to determine, to actually test the aerodynamics of the vehicles. And so I'm going to try to get a hold of him and see if he might be able to help me out with some things when I actually get to the designing of the body and the aerodynamics of it. So I'm actually going to kind of take a hint from that, and I'm going to go to a hobby store and grab some models of the cars that I kind of want mine to look like, because I want to mix them in and take features from certain things that I like and improve or customize it. So I'm going to go out and buy some of those models so that I can use that as reference points. Oh, and then another idea from a friend that I was talking to about this idea. He suggested that at one point in time there was an automotive company thinking of making a chassis that you can put different, like a module type chassis where you can put a sedan on it and then maybe like an SUV or stuff like that. And I really like that idea, so I'm going to really try to incorporate that into my design, that I can actually take the body of the vehicle off the chassis and put in another body. And one of the things that I started to think of with design consideration is the suspension. That's why I like that Ride Tech, because they do have an air suspension where I can actually adjust the height of the vehicle to match a good driving height for different vehicles. The sedan, sports, and if you get into the SUVs or Blazers, they'll want to ride a little higher. But so that's my ideas for now. Thought I'd just give you guys an update, and hopefully you enjoy that. Stay tuned for more.